This is Morning Motivation for Educators on the Bee Podcast Network. Learn about all the shows at beepodcastnetwork.com. You'll hear from a variety of formal and informal educators who help put this podcast together. If you'd like to contribute your voice to the show, please go to morningmotivationedu.com to apply. I am Joey Mascio. I was a middle school teacher for 7 years, and now I run Sidekick to Hero, a coaching business that helps teens with confidence, social skills, and goals. Today, I want to talk about the number one classroom management advice that I can give any teacher, especially any new teacher. It's not personal. So your students' behavior is not personal. Even if they attack you personally, it's not personal. And that's happened to me before. When I started, I had probably the most difficult set of classes because I was the low man on the totem pole, and I was given pretty much all ELD classes, so English language development, but not the one where the students were eager to learn, but the one where they hadn't reclassified in years, and so they were pretty much English speakers, but just hadn't passed the test and did not want to be in my classroom. So it was really difficult. I remember almost quitting my first year, but not taking it personal is something that I learned. And it's more than just, oh, if they act up, don't take it personal. Or, oh, if they call you names or don't do the work, don't take it personal. It's more than that. If you take a it's not personal approach from day one, when you set up your expectations, your classroom rules, and have no more than 4 and post them, when you set that up, then you approach it as if this is just how the game is played. Here are the rules of the game. In my classroom, I'll have to remember now, there was no getting up out of your seat, no cell phone, no talking while I'm talking, and respect other people. And that's kind of that general one, right? And I had it posted. And those were the rules. And I told them if they broke those rules, then these following consequences would happen. And it wasn't personal. And when I approached it that way, they understood. They understood that, oh, it's not personal. Those are just Mascio's rules. That's just, if you get up out of your seat, then he'll take you outside and talk to you about that and tell you not to do that anymore. And then if you do it again, he's going to call home and, talk to your parents. It's not personal. Now, this doesn't mean that nobody got mad when I did it, but I stayed clear and consistent. And it's a lot easier to stay clear and consistent when it's not personal, which meant I also wasn't saying, oh, well, it's Julio and he's one of my favorites, so I guess I'll let it slide. I never let anything slide because it wasn't personal. And that helped me know when to execute discipline. And it also let the students know what I expected of them. So not taking things personally is the number one tool or the number one advice I would say to any teacher. Teaching students seems like it's such a personal thing. You have flavors of how you like to do things, and they're all their own individual little creatures, and it just seems so personal. But when it comes to discipline, I promise you, you will have a much easier time if you approach it from the standpoint of it's not personal. And you can even write up a referral, if you so choose to, with a smile on your face. You can call home right in the middle of class, and I've done that before. As a student did not want to go back to their seat, and I said it was multiple offenses, and I said, hey, the next thing I do is I want to have to call home right now if you don't go back to your seat. And he was on his way out the door, coming back in. He was all over the place. So the next time he came back in, I said, "Hey, your mom's on the phone." And you should have seen the look on his face. He was like, "What? Oh, really?" He came over. Everybody heard mom yell at him through the phone. He got off the phone and he sat down. And yes, he didn't like me for the rest of that day. But I didn't not like him. It was fine. I didn't do it because I was angry. I did it because that was the next step on my protocols that I set up. And I showed him, hey, it wasn't personal. Anybody who does this is going to get a call home. That's just how it goes. Set up clear and consistent expectations and consequences, and then follow through on it with the mindset of, hey, this ain't personal. This is just how the game is played. Thanks for listening, and whatever role you have in education, we have a podcast for you at bpodcastnetwork.com. Who among your friends and colleagues needs to hear this message today? Please share it with them right now.